Okay, so the final bit is so we did the round function there. Um, okay, yep, just that one. Round the value to 0. This one is a little bit more complicated. So you've actually got, and the clue is that if you have this if statement. So I'm going to try and work this one out. Now, before I just switch this on, I did a working out, okay, just to make sure it does work, just so I didn't kind of waste too much time. I'm just going to kind of do the same thing again. So how we left it, we were there. Okay, so again, I'm just going to go over that. So 24, I could just copy it down, but so this one here, you're going to round to equals. You can just do round for this one. Let's put, okay, so you're going to take, again, that number, divide by that number, and the next one, just do it, just do it, just do it. Oh, sorry, I missed a digit. Okay, and round it to 0. Done. Right. Now this bit, I'm going to click on here. So I've just typed a distance in. So I've just put a number in. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is, there's two things you have to do. You have to work out, you have to round the number up or down, but you also have to do like an if statement. And I was looking at what they want. If the distance, so you're going to add 10 to something. Okay, so you've got 10. You know you're going to need 10. Okay, but we do this bit, 7.5. If the distance is less than 6, okay, if the distance is multiplied by 1.5, if the distance is not less than 6. So you go to distance. So that's the distance there. So it's going to be an if statement. So I'm going to do an equals if. Open the bracket. It's not as complicated as it first might seem. So if the value in f6 is less than 6, was it less than 5? It's less, yeah, it's less than 6. Then what you're going to do, 7.5, put another column. So basically, if the value of in f6 is less than 6, you're going to add 7.5. That's why with a comma. Now the next comma is, if that's not true, what are you going to do? So if it's not true, you're going to do f6 times 1.5. Close the bracket and hit enter. So if I compare it to that one, so we haven't quite finished it yet, but you look at the if statement. So if f6 is less than 6, you're going to add 7.5 onto it. Okay, but if it's not less than 6, then you're going to times it by 1.5. Okay, and the final thing is you need to add 10 onto it. So you can actually just add something to your if statement. So at the very end, you do that and you just do plus 10. Okay, that kind of matches what I've got on that one. Now the final bit, you wouldn't actually really lose any marks for this, but what I thought the easiest thing to actually explain it and the easiest for you to understand is if you then round it up in a different cell. So your final total is there. So you then do, so I think you're rounding it up. So you do equals round, and we have got round and round up. I'll just do round up. Okay, oh, round up, and you're going to round that up to the nearest whole number. So you do the closed bracket. Okay, if you had sort of an unusual amount, then it rounds it up, and that would be your main if statement. And that's just an explanation, a way of doing it, but obviously you need your travel cost this column here should actually be under travel cost, but easy way of doing that is just to drag that across like that and just copy. If you put your mouse bottom right hand corner, it becomes a black plus sign. You can just drag that across. Do you know what? Just colour it in black. I was only thinking of doing it that way, and then what you could do is just hide that one. It just, I think it will make it easier for you to understand if you do it like that, because if you try to do the round function and the if at the same time, it would then get really confusing. I think the if statement's not too bad. If that is true, add that onto it. If that is true, otherwise do that. So if that is true, if f6 is less than 6, you add that onto it. Otherwise, you times it by 1.5, and when you've got that amount, you just add 10 onto it. That's kind of how that works. I imagine I'll just screw that. I think when you're doing this task, you probably will have a basic kind of if statement that you'd need to do. But again, but that's basically how that's done. Again, screenshot it if you're not sure. Complete the unfinished test plan in your evidence document. Replace the letters A and B with suitable headings. Choose 3 pages. Okay, so I guess with this one you've got a test plan, so I'll just try and find that. So that's the test plan is the one from earlier. So you've got the evidence for the website, and you have this one here. So it's asking you to think of how you could test that the spreadsheet works. Let's come back to that. Complete the unfinished. Replace the letters A and B with suitable headings. Choose 3 pieces of test data to test. The formula used in step 18. Okay. So go back to the test plan. Okay. I'm going to skip. Now for this one, I've just opened up the mark scheme. I think it's easier just to give you the mark scheme on this one. I don't want to just jump to that, but I think it's easier actually just to show what they're looking for. Cell reference and formula tested correct. Okay, so you've got the headings. Okay, so what you're doing, so you're basically testing the if statement here. So on here, your if statement says if f5 is less than 6. So if you put a 2 in, okay, you should get that number. If you get an 8, okay. So it's just showing that you have a different, so you would put a 2 in, you show it when it's less than 6, and so on, and just make sure the if statement is working. And also, you're making sure that the roundup function does work, so you don't have a point number there. I'll just hide that again. Okay, that's basically what you do. Expected output, reasons for choice, and expected output calculated correctly, which you've just checked. Okay, and I think the final, I'll just go back to the question paper, but that's it. That's pretty much it. Save and print. Okay, add the following properties to your spreadsheet. So you're then going to add 1 record, print the spreadsheet showing the values, the contents all fully visible, and then you're just doing your evidence document. Okay, so that would be that task done. So if you're printing out, firstly just make sure you go to layout, orientation, landscape. That should all fit onto the page. So you're just kind of tidying it up, and that's it. But that is the spreadsheet task. Pretty complete, and that is 30% of your final marks are the website and the spreadsheet. So that's 30%, and it wasn't that difficult really if you think about it. Okay, thank you.